y'all, and welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here, on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. So we're going to go ahead and get into our special feature today, which is titled For Better or Worse. You can actually find this film streaming right now on Amazon Prime. But first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. Ben and Jess, who are getting a divorce after 20 years, decide to sell their first house, but they find that it's in terrible shape, and now they must work together to repair it and put it on the market. Now, for instance, this film just totally caught me off guard. It surprised me because I was expecting a little bit of seriousness, a little bit of like in the matters of anything like this, anybody who's like on the verge of getting a divorce, you'd be expecting the characters that hate each other. You expect like certain things that went down that was just totally disgusting, that just was like, you expect to be on one person's side or the other, depending on who did the wrong and who caused all of this, you know, terrible things to happen. But in this case, the way that this film opened up, it just totally, from the very beginning to the end, y'all, it is just hilarious. So much fun, and yet hilarious in a good way. It doesn't have any of those yucky words in there or just terrible things that kind of happen that people want to put off as funny, which I really don't like that kind of comedy, things that could be hurtful or just just make somebody feel some kind of way, and yet people call that comedy. Here, a person may call this corny, but to me, it was hilarious. It was clean. And even with the characters here, like, you couldn't choose whose side like you wanted to be on, who more you were for, because these characters were so sweet in every way. Yeah, they had their little things that were doing their little underhanded things towards one another, but you got from the very beginning of this film that they still loved each other. Like, to me, more than loved each other, like, was still in love with each other. Ben and Jess here, you could just tell in those subtle movements, even in the way that they speak to one another, they were never really like disrespectful. However, they were hilarious, like the way that they kind of you just have to watch it. The little things that they would just say to each other that you'd be like, oh, that was a nice Ben. That was a nice Jess. But at the same time, it wasn't malicious. It wasn't in a way that it just made you feel like these characters, they need to be apart. Like they had no business being together in the first place. I typically do not like those kind of characters in those kind of films. And most films, especially with this title, For Better or For Worse, you get that vibe that the people really shouldn't have been together in the first place. Like, it's just malicious, it's evil, it's just horrible. It makes you hate one of the characters more than the other, or probably just hate both of them. But in this case, you love both of these characters. You are like, what are you doing? What are y'all two doing? Why are we here? Why are we even thinking about getting a divorce? Or like, you serious? Like, this is one scene where they're trying to find the house, their very first house, because they have to repair it or whatever. And so they go out there, and there's one scene that, like, they're trying to get there. They haven't been there, I believe, at this point, like in 15 years, they haven't been to this house. And at first, the wife, Jess, is, using her GPS, leading the way, and he's following her. And then they end up pulling over, and he's like, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you're going. And she just totally surrendered, like, okay, why don't you take the lead? And he leads, and they're like in the middle of nowhere. It was just, then he have to look at her and humble himself and like, okay, what did your GPS say now, girl? And it was just like little cute things like that to me that was just hilarious. And just the way that, with them going on this journey, fixing up their first house, and you can imagine certain memories are coming to mind. And then they slowly but surely start to see, how it is with working with one another and why that they ended up with each other in the first place. But I'm not going to give away any endings here, but I just want to say, prepare for a good laugh, prepare for that cleanness, that clean type of comedy, which I really appreciate. I love that. It is so hard to come across because everybody feels like they have to use profanity, they have to say disgusting things, they have to degrade people and all of these terrible things to get a laugh. And I'm really turned off by that. So I was very, very surprised with this. This to me really is a rom-com. There are some rom-coms that are like disgusting to me in a sense of, most people won't call them disgusting, but they're disgusting to me in a sense of like what you call is funny, and you feel like saying certain things, making a person feel a certain way that is funny, and it's really not. It's such a turn off. And here, to me, this is a rom-com. It's sweet It's heartfelt. It still, has an amazing plot, and the characters are all lovable. You love them, okay? You're rooting for them, and that was like the icing on the cake for me here. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into our scripture, which will be coming out of. Give me just a second to get it. Okay. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6, and it reads, "Now godliness with contentment is great gain." So that's all I have for you for this video. Y'all, please remember to leave your thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.